There is a war happening inside your brain right now. Not a metaphorical war. A literal neurological conflict that plays out every single day of your life. On one side is the part of your brain that wants growth, challenge, purpose, and success. On the other side is a system so ancient, so powerful, and so deeply wired into your biology that it has been defeating humans for hundreds of thousands of years. It is your brain's comfort drive. And here is the brutal truth that most motivational content will never tell you. Your brain does not want you to succeed, it wants you to survive. And in the world your brain was designed for, those two things were the same. But in the world you actually live in today, they are complete opposites. Success requires discomfort, growth requires uncertainty, achievement requires risk. And your brain is chemically, biologically, and neurologically built to avoid all three of those things with everything it has. This is not a mindset problem. This is not a motivation problem. This is a hardware problem. And by the time this video ends, you are going to understand exactly what is happening inside your skull when you choose Netflix over your goals. And you are going to have the specific psychological tools to override that ancient system and take back control of your own life. Stay with me, because what comes in the second half of this video is what actually changes behavior at the root level. Let us start at the beginning. 250,000 years ago, the human brain developed a primary operating system with one singular goal: keep you alive long enough to reproduce. That is it. Everything else was secondary. And in that environment, the brain learned very quickly that comfort equaled safety and discomfort equaled danger. If you were warm-fed and surrounded by your tribe, you were alive. If you were cold, hungry, alone, and facing the unknown, you were probably about to die. So your brain built an extraordinarily powerful system to pull you back toward comfort anytime you drifted too far from it. This system is called the homeostatic impulse, and it is managed primarily by a structure deep in your brain called the hypothalamus, working in coordination with the amygdala, your threat detection center. Together, these systems monitor your state constantly, and the moment you move toward anything unfamiliar, challenging, or uncertain, they send out a signal. Come back. This is dangerous. Stay where it is safe. That signal feels like resistance, like procrastination, like the sudden urge to check your phone right when you are about to start something important, like the exhaustion that appears specifically when you sit down to work on your goals. None of that is laziness. All of it is your ancient brain doing exactly what it was designed to do, protecting you from perceived danger. The problem is your brain cannot tell the difference between a real threat and the discomfort of writing a business plan. To your hypothalamus and amygdala, they feel identical. Now here is where it gets even more interesting and even more important. Your brain does not just pull you toward comfort passively. It actively makes comfort feel rewarding and discomfort feel threatening using your neurochemistry. When you engage in a comfortable, familiar behavior, your brain releases a small amount of dopamine to reinforce it. When you move toward something uncertain or challenging, your brain elevates cortisol, your stress hormone, to make you want to retreat. Over time, this creates what neuroscientists call a comfort reinforcement loop. Comfort feels good because it is chemically rewarded. Challenge feels bad because it is chemically penalized. And the longer this loop runs, the deeper it gets encoded into your neural pathways. This is why the longer you stay in a comfort zone, the harder it becomes to leave. Every day you choose comfort over challenge, you are not just avoiding growth. You are actively reinforcing the neural architecture that makes comfort feel mandatory and success feel impossible. You are making the wall higher with every day you stay on the wrong side of it. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, whose decades of research on human performance and happiness produced the theory of flow states, found something that directly contradicts what our comfort-seeking brains believe. He found that people report their highest levels of happiness, focus, and life satisfaction not during moments of rest or comfort, but during moments of engaged challenge, when people are working on something difficult that stretches their abilities just beyond their current level. They enter a state that Csikszentmihalyi called flow. And in that state, the brain releases a cocktail of neurochemicals, including dopamine, norepinephrine, anandamide, and serotonin, that produces an experience of deep satisfaction that comfort can never replicate. The comfort your brain is chasing with every avoidance behavior is actually pushing you further from the real satisfaction it is looking for. You are being tricked by your own biology into choosing a counterfeit version of the very thing you actually want. So how do you override it? The first tool is called stress inoculation, and it is used by military psychologists to prepare soldiers for combat performance under extreme pressure. The principle is straightforward. You deliberately expose yourself to small controlled doses of discomfort on a regular basis so that your brain learns through direct experience that discomfort is not the same as danger. Every time you voluntarily do something uncomfortable and survive it, your amygdala updates its threat database. It notes that the discomfort did not kill you, and the next time a similar discomfort arises, the fear response is slightly smaller. Do this repeatedly, and your brain's threat response to challenge and uncertainty shrinks measurably over time. This is not motivational language. This is documented neuroplasticity. You are literally rewriting how your brain categorizes discomfort at the cellular level. The practical application is simple. Every single day, do one thing that makes you uncomfortable on purpose. It does not have to be dramatic. Take the cold shower. Have the difficult conversation. Start the task you have been avoiding. Speak up in the meeting. Skip the snooze button. Each of these small voluntary discomforts is a training session for your amygdala, and every session makes you slightly harder to stop. The second tool is called temptation bundling, and it comes from behavioral economist Catherine Milkman at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, whose research on habit formation has influenced policy at major organizations worldwide. Milkman identified a core problem with challenging behaviors. They have delayed rewards, and your brain is neurologically biased toward immediate reward over future reward every single time. Success requires you to do hard things now for benefits that arrive weeks, months, or years later. But your brain's reward system is calibrated to prioritize what feels good in the next 60 seconds over what will feel good in the next 60 months. Temptation bundling directly addresses this by pairing something you genuinely want to do with something you need to do. Only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising. Only watch the show you love while doing meal prep. Only have your favorite coffee while doing your most important work. What this does neurologically is attach immediate reward to the challenging behavior itself. Your brain stops experiencing the hard activity as pure cost and begins anticipating the paired pleasure. Over weeks, this pairing becomes encoded, and eventually your brain begins releasing anticipatory dopamine at the start of the challenging activity itself. You have hacked the reward timing problem that makes success so neurologically difficult. The third tool is the most psychologically sophisticated and the most powerful. It is called self-compassion reframing, and it comes from the research of Dr. Kristin Neff at the University of Texas, whose work on self-compassion has transformed clinical psychology. Here is something that seems completely counterintuitive until you see the data. Harsh self-criticism after a failure or a moment of choosing comfort over your goals does not make you more disciplined. It makes you less disciplined. When you beat yourself up for procrastinating or quitting or choosing comfort, your brain interprets that self-attack as a social threat. Because your brain processes self-directed criticism using the same neural circuits it uses to process external social rejection, and when it detects a social threat, it activates the same fear and avoidance responses that it uses to keep you safe from danger. This means that every time you tell yourself you are lazy, you are weak, you will never change, you are literally triggering a neurological response that makes it harder to take action. You are pouring gasoline on the exact fire you are trying to put out. Dr. Neff's research shows that people who respond to their own failures with self-compassion rather than self-criticism show significantly greater motivation to improve, greater emotional resilience, and significantly higher rates of sustained behavior change. Self-compassion is not making excuses. It is not lowering your standards. It is removing the neurological obstacle that self-attack creates so that your prefrontal cortex can actually do its job and move you forward. The fourth and final tool is what neuroscientist Antonio Damasio's research points toward through his work on the somatic marker hypothesis. Your body keeps the score of every decision you make, and the physical sensations associated with past choices become signals that guide future behavior. This means you can use your body deliberately to shift your brain's comfort drive. When you feel the pull of comfort, when you feel the resistance rising, when your brain is saying stay safe, do not try. Use what psychologists call a somatic anchor, a physical movement that you have intentionally linked to a state of confident action. This can be as simple as standing up straight, rolling your shoulders back, taking one deep, deliberate breath, and saying one phrase out loud or in your head, something like I do hard things or I move forward. Research on embodied cognition shows that body posture and physical state directly influence neurochemical output. Expansive upright posture has been shown to increase testosterone and reduce cortisol, which means your body chemistry can literally be shifted by how you hold yourself in the moment of resistance. Over time, with repetition, the physical anchor itself begins to trigger the neurochemical shift automatically. Your body becomes a tool for overriding your brain's comfort drive in real time. Here's what you need to walk away understanding at the deepest level. Your brain choosing comfort over success is not evidence that you are broken. It is evidence that you are human. It is evidence that your brain is functioning exactly as it was designed to function in an environment it was never designed for. You are not fighting a character flaw. You are fighting 250,000 years of evolutionary programming. And the fact that you are watching this right now means some part of you already knows that the comfort your brain keeps choosing is not actually making you happy. The research confirms what you already feel. Real satisfaction lives on the other side of discomfort. Real fulfillment is found in challenge, not in avoidance. Your brain was built for survival, but you were born for more than that, and now you have the tools to prove it.